Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ben from the Real Food Movement here in the Avenue Kitchen, and we're going through a Q&A session. So I'd ask you guys in the Real Food Movement group on Facebook, what questions do you have? What would you like to have answered? And so we got a lot of great feedback from you guys, and here is one of the questions. We talked about portions, portion size. Most people have a really big issue with this. Not understanding, is this too much fat? Is this too much protein? I feel like I'm really eating a lot, or I'm not eating enough. What do you do? How do you do it? And really the best answer I can give you is take your hand. From a protein standpoint, the palm of your hand is a pretty good resource. Now, you think about if you go to a restaurant or you're cooking steaks, burgers at home, and you're like, oh, let's see, that is is there any way I can make my palm bigger to really meet that need? Yeah, no. So that palm of your hand is a good idea from a portion standpoint with protein. With fat, it gets a little bit different. So I've seen it recommended like a thumbful. So if you take like that top of your thumb, and if you're gonna use an oil, you know, if you pour in there, or if you're gonna cook with some fat, you know, a little bit that matches the thumb. Now, I don't wanna see a bunch of people in their kitchen being like, does this look the same? No, don't do that, don't worry about that. Guesstimate it and don't beat yourself up over it. So that's your fat, your protein. Now your carbohydrate vegetable source. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Veggies are carbs for the most part. They have protein, they have other elements to them, but if you're depending on the vegetable, excuse me, a sweet potato, a potato, a beet, carrots, they're gonna have a little bit higher starch carbs than say like broccoli or cauliflower, things like that, because they are root vegetables, they store more starch. So if you were to take those, I would worry about those post-workout, post-heavy-duty activity, things like that that are really going to drain a lot of the glycogen in the muscle store. And so basically it becomes a timing issue. So when you go with a vegetable, leafy greens, all that good stuff, max it out on your plate. Think about your typical plate, and you go to a restaurant, what do they have? It's the chicken with a side of broccoli. No, you need to have a whole bunch of broccoli and other veggies, don't just stick on broccoli. And then, that palm size of your chicken, of your protein, your fish, your beef, whatever it is. Don't go crazy about it. In American culture, we think like big steaks is the way to go. And yeah, I'm sure a 72-ounce steak really hits the spot. But you kind of work through it and say, all right, palm size, that's not 72 ounces. And don't just cut a bunch of pieces and stack it up because it still fits in your palm. It doesn't work that way either. So portion control, it works with our healthy habits. Eat slowly. The slower you eat, it helps maintain the portion control. If you're watching TV and you're completely like zoned out, you're not gonna know when you're full. You're not gonna know that feeling like, man, I feel good. I don't need another plate. I don't need another serving. Eating slowly paired with good portion control, say palm size, thumb size, as many veggies as you can, you should be solid. I said, you have to be in the moment. You have to know what's on your plate, and you have to be able to eat that and enjoy that. So there's that aspect of it. We'll get a little bit more detailed as we kind of go through talking about timing of carbohydrate, types of carbohydrate to have, but know that protein, palm size. If you're a very active individual, double that. If you're tearing it up in the gym, double the protein, you can double the fat. Carbohydrate really comes in really well post-workout. I can talk more about that later, but from a portion control standpoint, there it is laid out. Eat as many vegetables as you can. Fruit, 1 to 2 servings a day. Don't go crazy from the fructose. It's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but that is it today. Let me know what other questions you might have, or if you have any other little tools as you're measuring out your food, just cutting it up, eating. What works best for you? I'd love to hear it, and it might help somebody else in the group. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you guys. I will see you next time.